My name is Margaret Ivey, and I'm an actor. I've worked on TV, in film, and in theaters all across the country. Growing up, I was always imagining in the backyard or making up shows with my best friend in her living room. And I love that I get to use my imagination for a living to get people to look differently at the world around them.
But the point the protesters are making is that a uniform fuel tax puts a greater burden on lower-income Americans.
Near Lake Peipus in Estonia.
Lake Peipus? Isn't that where... Madam President, are you concerned about the investigation of your campaign manager? How did you get through it?
I remember when a spike in oil prices meant we had a lot less at the end of every month.
I quit. I'm not cut out for this. I thought I was, but I just graduated a few months ago. They didn't prepare us to...
Hey, I'm Margaret. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Margaret. Tell me, what are you going to make today?
We're gonna make a little succotash.
Where did the succotash come from? Like, how did they come into your family?
My great-great-grandma, Maggie Valentine, was Blackfeet Indian. We always like to have a corn dish on the table to honor our Native American ancestors.
On stage, I've played a lot of roles that weren't originally written with a Black woman in mind. I remember when I played Belle in A Christmas Carol, my mom sat behind a little girl and her family at one performance. The moment I walked on stage, my mom says the little girl exclaimed, "Mom, she looks like my doll. Wait, Mom, she looks like me." With these roles like Belle or Jane Eyre or even Shakespearean heroines, people of all ethnicities love these stories, and they belong to everyone. But reimagining parts from theater history isn't enough, which is why I love doing new plays that speak to what it means to be a Black woman today.
Trigger warning. America was a land of equality and opportunity for white Americans because 20% of Americans were enslaved.
Whether it's reimagining an iconic role or originating a brand new one, I hope my work makes it easier for people who look like me to know that they belong at the center of a story, that they belong at the center of their own stories.
I'm Courtney Sale, the Nancy L. Donahue Executive Director at Merrimack Repertory Theater. It's a great honor and privilege to chat about my friend and colleague, Margaret Ivey. Margaret and I have known each other for many years, primarily through the Contemporary American Theater Festival, where we didn't work together directly, but I, among many others, sat rapt watching her perform a variety of roles: historical, contemporary, comedy, tragedy, and she always does them with such electricity and heart and curiosity. And I'm so lucky that I got to work with her last season on the 39 Steps, which she animated with such vitality and life. She's an amazing collaborator, an amazing spirit. We are so lucky to have her making great stories and great theater for audiences across the country.
As Ron Brown scholars, we talk a lot about the value of one, the power of all. As a teaching artist, I try to instill in my students the value of their individual voices and the power of what can happen when we all come together to work to make something good. Becoming a Ron Brown scholar gave me an instant community, a family. It helped me feel less alone. And I hope that my work on stage, on screen, and in schools does the same for my community.